Hi there, everyone. Hello, beautiful people. It has been a little while. It took 6 days for me to come back to you. I took a little time off. Um, it has been 21 days, exactly 3 weeks since my midnight escape from the Princess Margaret Killer Center. That's what I like to call it now, instead of the Princess Margaret Cancer Center. Princess Margaret Killer Center, and I am feeling great. No one from the Killer Center has harassed me or called me back for a while. No one offering me rush, to the surgery or OR, and wanting to get their money's worth, even though, like I said earlier, the surgeon had said no time at all. It's going to be 3 months, maybe. No rush to get in surgery because we're going to need to wait for after radiation for you to recover, for you to fatten up a little bit. Probably 6 weeks to maybe 12 weeks. You're going to get a surgery. And then, boom, I left Princess Margaret, and he was going to give me surgery right away. Money, 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 money. Somebody wants to get paid. It has been kind of cloudy, kind of early fall here in Toronto. My flowers are gorgeous. I don't know, they're coming into late bloom. My gladiolas just came up last week, blooming like crazy out there, even though it's a bit chill. My gorgeous orange and yellow gladiola just hanging in there, blooming. One more bloom to go. We might get some sun tomorrow. So the detox is going well. I've got to tell you about some of the great benefits of detoxing and getting my body back to normal. I stopped spitting. You notice there's no over salivation, and I'm not having to spit into my little container that I would carry around with me around the house, or into a cup, which is outside of a car when at a red light. I have to open the door, and it was just taking over my life. All this over salivation and side effects to the oral chemo radiation, but also the probably my body trying to get it all out at the same time because I was counteracting it, right? And no more scabs on my head. Feeling great. Those are gone. Rashes on my arms are going away slowly. I had some really bad discoloration on my forehead, and you can still see it there. But you see that my actual skin color is coming through. That is completely brand new since my detox began. So you see, that was all brown, and now there are spots of real my skin color coming through there. So that's also new. Not taking any more of the PPI. This drug is out of my life for good. No more big pharma. I'm on week 3 of my PPI cessation protocol. I'm replacing it, as you know, with the Alka Pure natural salts for reducing hyperacidity. That's taking it twice a day, like 12 o'clock in the afternoon and then right before bed. I'm still taking my herbal tinctures twice a day, the 9 tinctures, which I've added on with the advice of my detox specialist, the Alka Pure tea with the tinctures, and having it again during the evening or anytime I want. So this is called 7x7 Kräutertee. This is German for herbal tea. There are 49 organic herbs in here. It's a detox tea, but it's also alka. These are all alkalizing herbs that also help with the whole hyperacidity, just getting the body completely alkaline. So I'm taking that with my tinctures, and feeling really good until about a couple of days ago, just getting the healing crisis coming on a little bit of aches and pains, minor headaches. Maybe the headaches are due to the weather because we're expecting some rain, so a lot of air pressure building up. But minor aches and pains in the area where I have weakness. So really taking good care of myself, trying not to overexert my body. Feeling really well enough. I took public transit last week to go out with a friend. So I went out in public, I went out by myself, got on a streetcar, got on a subway, did the same thing on the way back. And Friday, had the car to myself. I took the car out and did my errands, went to 3 different places, did some groceries. That felt great. A lot of independence coming back. Yesterday did the same thing. Drove the car out to see my new GP just for some follow-up and see how things are going. Of course, there's going to be a little bit of weight loss. That's part of the whole detox that I'm going through, and it's expected that I will be losing some weight. I'm still over 100 pounds. That's great. And I'm feeling good, not feeling weak, getting like I would like to rest a bit more, but I think I'm just forcing myself to rest because I want to let the healing take place and not to exert myself. Again, overexertion could be really disastrous during a detox. So trying to really force myself to relax, taking it easy, don't overexert. I did a lot of cooking yesterday too. I just wanted to get all out and get some cooking done, and made this massive pot of Russian borscht and grilled some veggies. But then I will just try not to cook for the rest of the week. Okay, so off the chemicals, on with the naturals. Detox is going great. Some music came in through the pipeline this week. Wow. And maybe not news to all of you guys. It's been a couple of years in the making about this particular herbicide. Report finds traces of a controversial herbicide in Cheerios and Quaker oats. This is unbelievable. This has been something that's been going on maybe 2 years that the environmental working group has found this chemical, and this came out yesterday again. You're feeding this to your little ones, your children, you know, and other breakfast foods. You know, let's say this is an herbicide that's going to increase the cancer risk for children. And a report comes amid, of course, long-standing debate about the safety of the chemicals called glyphosate, Glyphosate, which federal regulators maintain is not likely to cause cancer. So herbicides, pesticides, chemicals in your food, not likely to cause cancer? How can that be safe? In its report released Wednesday, the Environmental Working Group said that it tested 45 samples of breakfast foods made from oats grown in fields sprayed with herbicides. Using a strict standard the group developed, it found elevated levels of glyphosate in 31 of them. 31 out of 45. That's very high. You don't know what you're eating. You don't know which cereals are going to have these particular samples, because that's 31 out of 45 have it. There are levels above what we could consider safe in very popular breakfast foods. That was from the group's toxicologist, who helped to analyze the report. The findings by the group, which has opposed the use of pesticides that may end up in food, were reported widely. But the question of whether glyphosate is safe is not so simple. There's a raging international debate, of course, about the chemicals, and thousands of lawsuits, allegations of faulty research supporting and opposing. Of course, there's a vigorous defense from the herbicidal company, Monsanto. Everybody knows Monsanto, the company that helped develop it 40 years ago, and many, many other harmful products. I mean, it's a multi-billion-dollar corporation. that is harming us, harming people, putting our lives at risk with the foods and the chemicals that they produce. And it helped produce this particular weed killer, and it was the most popular weed killer in the world from 40 years ago until now. Scott Partridge, the vice president of Monsanto, said in an interview on Wednesday that hundreds of studies had validated the safety of glyphosate and that it doesn't cause cancer. How can a chemical in your food be deemed safe? And he called the Environmental Working Group an activist group. So of course he's got to throw around sling some words around to try to defame an environmental working group which doesn't have any other agenda. But they say, oh, they have an agenda. The environmental working group are fear-mongering. They distort science. So if we knew something about science, then we would say that Monsanto's chemicals are safe to eat. Huh, interesting. I would say that people who are trying to bring this out into the open are bringing out science to help you see the truth of the science and to make us very careful, not fearful, but careful about what we choose to eat and read the labels. And anything that's processed, put on a shelf, is probably not safe. Very likely that it's not safe to eat. Because there's going to be at least preservatives in them, some kind of chemical to preserve them on the shelf. If not, herbicides, pesticides, you don't know that they're organically grown. Central to the critiques of the glyphosate, which prevent plants from photosynthesizing, is a 2015 decision by the World Health Organization's International Agency for Research on Cancer to declare glyphosate a probable carcinogen. Again, WHO, in the same field as Monsanto, FDA, AMA, CMA, trying to push these chemicals through and potentially harming, very highly, potentially harming people who are buying these products, consuming them, because of the, WHO trying to keep us hooked on drugs for a very long time, pharmaceutical companies, right, hand in hand with a lot of these corporations and agencies for research on cancer or killing off excess population on the planet, which we know to be true, that we are overpopulated. That spurred a federal case in the United States over such claims and prompted California, thank you California for coming to its senses, to declare it a chemical that is known to cause cancer. Not probably, but known. And it had actually Monsanto had been sued by a school groundskeeper, poor guy, who had worked as a groundskeeper, for the California county school system for many, many years, had used this product. It was called Roundup, the weed killer, and whoa, surprise, surprise, developed non-Hodgkin's lymphoma after using the weed killer as part of his job. Monsanto was ordered to pay $289 million in damages. The company says it's facing more than 5,200 similar lawsuits. Sure, they got enough money in their pockets to pay these people off. Some research points to other potential health effects of glyphosate. In a study published last year in Scientific Reports, rats that consumed a very low dose of glyphosate each day showed early signs of fatty liver disease within 3 months, which worsened over time. But many regulators, big money, payoffs, researchers as well, say glyphosate is safe. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. This major back and forth, and putting people's lives at risk. This dispute continues to go on. A major study published by researchers at the National Institute of Health observed no association between glyphosate use and overall cancer risk. The dispute continues between the research on cancer by United States and European regulators. Keep disputing it. And the Environmental Protection Agency issued a draft last December human health risk assessment that said glyphosate was most likely not carcinogenic to humans. Wow. EPA. Federal EPA. Also in on it. The United States FDA, which regulates domestic and imported foods to make sure it does not exceed levels set by the EPA, said that based on 2016 samples, it had not found any violations of EPA standards. And how much is enough to say it is okay, safe? What are we going by levels for? Any level, low, medium, or high, is dangerous. We're not looking at, 2% is okay, 5% is not okay. Any level is harmful. Not exceeding any level. I mean, of a herbicide, a chemical that kills plants. How can that be deemed safe at any level? Wow. Both Quaker Oats and General Mills, which makes Cheerios and oatmeals, say that their products were safe and met federal standards. While our products comply with all safety and regulatory requirements, we are happy to be part of the discussion and are interested in collaborating with industry peers, regulators, and other interested parties on glyphosate, said a spokesman from Quaker. Industry peers, obviously they're leaving out people like the environmental working group and so-called hippie activists, so they're not interested in talking to people like us who want to share, Dr. Morse, who wants to share the truth with the world so that we can live a happy, healthy life in a natural environment and be radiant and be happy and never have to rely on the medical community to help us with our symptoms that they created. General Mills spokeswoman, here she speaks up too. Our products are safe and without question, they meet regulatory safety levels. What a bunch of BS and whitewashing. The truth is out there, people, and these are your lives, these are your children. Keep them safe. Yesterday or the other day, we saw this lovely report from, again, the FDA sticking their nose in and making sure that we stay as unhealthy as possible. Frosted Flakes are healthier than avocados. Not only Frosted Flakes, Pop-Tarts, and SpaghettiOs are healthy, while avocados, almonds, salmon, and eggs are not. Mind you, I would agree with the salmon and eggs are not. Proteins, again, dead putrefied flesh is not exactly healthy for you. Amino acids that are going to be produced by the salmon and the eggs are not healthy for your body, creating acidosis and buildup in your body. But almonds, when you soak them, when you make them into almond milk, avocados have a nice healthy fat. Also considered a fruit if it's organic. It's very healthy. Organic almonds, not so bad. A little bit lower on the whole sort of foods pyramid that are considered the most electrical, the most natural, the most healthy for human consumption, but still good. Oh my gosh, the Pop-Tarts, Frosted Flakes. I haven't eaten Frosted Flakes since I was 5. Maybe no, it wasn't even 5 when I came to Canada. Since I was 8. Pop-Tarts, I stopped eating them in early high school, and I had friend living with us from exchange student. She was eating Pop-Tarts every morning for breakfast. Became extremely unhealthy and just bloated right up. SpaghettiOs. I mean, I was addicted to Alphagettis, same company, back in early high school. SpaghettiOs sitting on a shelf with preservatives, tomato sauce. Tomato is the most cooked tomato, most acidic cooked vegetable you can put in your body, increasing the acidosis. Wheat, white spaghetti. I'm sorry. How can that be healthier than a nice organic, ripe avocado? Wow, 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 wow. And they are currently allowed to use this label, healthy, in the marketing of their products. Products like Pop-Tarts and SpaghettiOs. Meanwhile, avocados and almonds are cannot be legally labeled as healthy because they contain too much fat. Not to mention they have healthy fats. But the FDA definition of healthy, written in the 1990s, let's move up into the 21st century, people. It's based on the 5 criteria: low fat, low saturated fat, low cholesterol, low sodium, and high in beneficial nutrients like vitamin C or calcium. So these packaged, canned products, safe to eat. Wow. Sugar content, completely irrelevant. Completely irrelevant to the agency. As long as companies meet the above 5 criteria, their products can contain as much sugar as they want and still be labeled healthy. Never mind cancer, loves, tumors. I don't want to use the word cancer. Buildup of sugars in your body are creating a lot of unhealthy environments. Healthy environments for problematic cell development, cell deposits, turning into tumors and cysts. Tumors love sugars, love refined sugars. Wow, 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 wow. And just completely unhealthy for your whole body, leading to diabetes, leading to other kinds of sugar-related consumption. In 2016, the FDA announced it would soon update its outdated definition of healthy to reflect the 2015 to 2020 dietary guidelines for Americans, which would categorize the fat in the above foods as healthy fat, but to date, no changes have been made. Save money. Highly processed, sugary junk food is still being marketed as healthy. Woo, that came out this week. It's been an ongoing debate for the last 2 years, but boy, unbelievable how that's still, how that still is a debate at all. Like this, anybody can see you will not feed your child frosted flakes that leave your child feeling incredibly unbalanced and having all these reactions to the sugar high and the sugar downs. Everybody knows. Oh boy. SpaghettiOs, Pop-Tarts. Like you just would not be feeding those things to your children. Your children. Anyways, gone a little longer than I wanted to, but I am going to end it on a positive note. I'm detoxing from all these amazing FDA approved chemicals that I've been detoxing from. The lovely, olanzapines, the ondansetrons, anti-nauseas, ondansetrons, and the chemical, while I was on getting radiation, I was also given the oral chemo, the fluorouracil that I was given during my chemo, the 3 cycles, I was given orally during radiation. So taking the chemo orally while going in for my radiation treatments. These are called pterocapacitabine. I can't even pronounce it. Pterocapacitabine. This is kind of a pill form of the fluorouracil that I was receiving in the chemo IV. So it breaks down into the fluorouracil. What kind of side effects could I expect from that? Let me see. Mild aches and pains or fever. Remember my trip to the ER? Poor appetite, diarrhea, eye problems, mouth sores, unusual bleeding or bruising, fever, chills, infection, nausea and vomiting. Hence I had to take the ondansetron simultaneously so I can try to fight off the nausea. So I was actually catching it before I got vomiting. Nausea and vomiting, rash, dry, itchy skin. I was getting all that. Hand and foot syndrome. Delightful. Heart problems. Great. Irregular heartbeat, chest pain, fainting, swelling, shortness of breath. Rapid breakdown of red blood cells. You have yellowing of the skin or eyes and or red-brown urine. Acute kidney failure, bleeding, breakdown of red blood cells, liver problems, rash or redness in the areas where you are receiving your radiation. Yeah, gorgeous things. And I was actually surprised when the pharmacist gave me this drug in a box. I'm sorry I didn't keep the box, but I had to take so much of this chemo, the oral chemo, during the radiation treatment that they put these slabs of pills into a full box. That's how much I had to receive. This high, this long, full of these tablets. Handed me over the box of pills. The pharmacist is like, whoa, here you go. Yep, and here's the rest of your oral chemo because they came in smaller doses. I had to take 1,300 milligrams in the morning and 1,300 milligrams in the evening while getting radiation in the same day. Done! Garbage. I'm going to return that to the pharmacist and say, here you go, take that back. Done with that. Done with those side effects, those dangerous, harmful side effects. Bringing myself back up, getting my herbs in, getting my celery juice, my lemon water, also incredible detox cleanses are the warm lemon water, as you remembered. The celery juicing, also quite nice, just waking my body up. And the herbal tinctures twice a day, followed by a gorgeous fruit diet. Raw fruits, organic. This is my selection for the day. You can see there we've got some beautiful ripe pomegranate, a beautiful ripe sliced mango. I'm dying to eat this right now. And some beautiful dark, I mean green grapes are fine, but Dr. Morris does recommend the dark purple grapes, again, organic. You can have them just straight up or juice them into a grape juice, which I had last night. Concord grapes are these delicious, forget the name of them, but you'll find them in your organic foods markets. Beautiful. Bursting with juice, I'm sorry. You can eat the seeds too if you want to. Very, very healthy for you. I'm going to say goodbye for now. I'm going to have my breakfast. I thank you again for listening. It is an honor and a privilege to share all this information with you. These ridiculous reports, please pay attention to them. Take those products out of your home. Do not put them in your kitchen. Do not bring them home from the store. You know, your lives are precious, and I think, you know, when you have the awareness and the knowledge of what our body needs to be radiant and survive and to function in exactly all the ways that it's supposed to function, you're going to feel so much different, you know, so much better. Your whole outlook on life. And the gardening and being close to my nature and being close to the flowers and that are growing, and you know, soon we'll bring them inside, but that, you know, the love and the nature bring it indoors. Don't let it stop right through the fall and the winter, because we do have a cold winter here. Bring it all indoors, and you know, the flowers continue to bloom right into the winter months. When they're inside, you know, get close to nature, smell the flowers, and I'll see you next time. Bye, beautiful people. Talk to you soon.